Okay. Yeah, so humming it stimulates the production of nitric oxide, which is a antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. So good to help clear out the system. So let's just start rubbing your hands together. And what is going on over here? Hold on. Oh my God, why does everything have to offer you some kind of deal of something you don't want? Okay, sorry. Every like website you go to wants to offer you, here's this thing, you can have it for free for 3 months, and then we're going to be charging you and you won't know it. Rubbing your hands together, capitalism, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Just let it go for a second. I can let go of my annoyance at capitalism and I can just shake it out. And shaking, bouncing, jumping is going to stimulate the lymphatic system, which is your massive drainage system, clearing out, detoxifying. And I tell you, I need some massive detoxifying because I had a very intense 2.5 weeks. Let's just spiral for a second. We're going to get into the lymph flush in a minute, but let's just move our bodies first. So what we could call this is tissue prep. We're prepping the tissue of our body to move more and to also clear out whatever kind of stuff needs to be cleared out. It could be stuck energy. It could be, well, there's so many ways of describing it, and each of them is sort of different, like stuck energy, stuck patterning, or like fluids that are kind of just stuck there. So we're just getting it all moving. Yeah, so I came back with a cold, which basically the night or the day before I left, both me and Philip both started feeling it. And then I flew. And being sick on the plane, and it wasn't that sick, but I was like, I slept and I just kept falling asleep the whole time. So that was actually a great thing. And then when I came home yesterday, it was like my worst day. And now I feel so much better. So it's one of these things. All right, so let's get in. And I was wondering to myself, like, why haven't I been doing all the detoxifying things that I know? But sometimes when you're sick, all you can do is just lay there, hands together, taking your right hand to your left clavicle and getting in under there. So this is where the subclavian artery is that returns the blood back into the heart, and it's drawing back the lymph. Same thing on the other side. Ah. Is that right? Do I have veins and arteries mixed up right now? This is the thing. Sometimes, like, I know all the things, but sometimes. Oh, arteries go away from the heart. Veins are the blood that comes back. So it's actually the subclavian vein, not artery. See, I knew I was wrong. Let's just do both sides again. Subclavian under your clavicle, vein, drawing the blood back into the heart, where then it's going to refilter and move back out again through your system. All right, so the next place we're going to go to is up here. I'm gonna kind of open and close my mouth, get my tongue, so that whole system is moving. You know when you go to the doctor and you do that, wiggling your throat for them, kind of let some of that action happen. Okay, right in behind the angle of the jaw, and then sliding under all the way to your chin. You can go back and forth with that. Just feeling into it. If it feels really painful and awful, don't dig in harder. Be very gentle. Like, honor your system so that you're not jamming it or forcing it, but you're working with it, right? There's so many ways that we've taught ourselves not to listen to our bodies and to force it. And I gotta admit, sometimes I like to do that too. It's fun to really push yourself, but if we're in the healing mode, in the reset mode, that's not the time to force it. All right, next place, we're coming in here. So just above your nostril, there should be like a little indentation. Getting in there or making a circle. As you're doing that, I'm gonna move my face up and down, scrunching, opening. You can feel it on the inside. We're just trying to get in to get those sinus cavities moving. And then you're going to make a circle under your half circle from that spot under your cheekbone out to the edge, right? 2 or 3 times. 3 times is always great, or even more, 3 to 5. Like after you've done something 3 to 5 times, it's usually set in your body. All right, one more place, thumbs next to your nose, going up under your eyebrow. Again, 3 to 5 times. Yeah, so most of these are sort of adaptations on the work of Dr. Perry Nicholson, who is a chiropractor. He has a Stop Chasing Pain is his moniker. Is that right? Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Going to the side. So up here, right in line with your ear, there should be a little indentation. Gently, softly in there, moving that around. Taking a little lower, so it's like there. And then going up to temple. Let's just do with this a big inhale. And on the exhale, you can kind of move your mouth around inside as you're on that exhale. Inhale back through your nose. Taking this into the 10 little dragons running through the forest. So starting at the top sort of line of your head and working your way down and out. And let's keep the humming going. Doesn't matter what you sound like. It's not, we're not having a competition. This is not, what is it? America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. Inhale back in. Just let it go for a second. So here's the thing I want you to think about for the next, we'll do it one more time, the rubbing. Listen inside your own head. I have these little earbuds in, which makes it really easy for me to hear inside my head. So as you're humming and you're going to move your jaw around, move your tongue, and see if you notice any kind of zones that don't feel like they're vibrating. And then just let your energy go into those. So it, like for me, this left side here, it feels a little bit more like a dead zone. So when I'm in there, I just bring my attention into that area. So you're just going to hum, rub, move your face, and see if you can hear that sound vibrating all through your head, or imagine it. When we inhale back through our nose, that gets the nitric oxide into our blood, which is all of these great things. And look it up. I mean, I talk about it a bunch, but there are other people who talk about it better than I do. All right, let's inhale, open, reach out to your fingertips, stretch longer through one arm and then the other, really trying to get into this part of your body between your pelvis and your rib cage. So your quadratus lumborum, deep inside there is your psoas also. So just thinking of lengthening one side of the body, lengthening the other, maybe taking a second to lengthen through the center, right? So when we lengthen, often like I could go up, or I can kind of work my way into it, right? Instead of just reaching with stillness, a little bit of micro movement or macro movement inside there, just moving everything around like your sponge in the water. You want to get all the areas filled in. And then we're going to take it down to the floor and just shift from side to side, bending one knee, bending the other. Letting your head and neck release. Oh, I can also feel that I'm holding in my neck and shoulders. So that's the thing we want to start noticing is where are things not moving and where is something a little blocked or stuck. So yeah, I'm like, oh, I can let that move a little bit more. So I'm trying to move myself from my tail to my head, from one side to the other, really shifting. This doesn't have to be your biggest hamstring stretch. You can do it with very bent knees if that feels better. And then come all the way up to the top. And we're going to make circles with the pelvis. So think of pubic bone and tailbone. Think of the front of your hip bones, back of your hip bones, letting those big bony structures really move around. And if you imagine that you're moving from the bones, so it's not, I'm working my muscles, it's more easy, letting the muscles be as easy as possible and change direction. It's not that we always want to always be relaxing around everything. Sometimes we really need to engage, but I think we need to learn more these days about letting go of things than about engaging things. Change direction if you haven't, and if you feel like you're up for it, change it to a figure 8. So like infinity symbol through the hips. Notice if you're holding energies or tension somewhere as you're doing that. Just feeling into what is your body doing, being aware of what's going on. There's a whole body here to feel into. And then let's add a flex and just shifting your weight, flexing through one side and then the other. So we're getting that external rotation in the hip socket, and we're reaching out through our baby toe, flexing the foot, stretching through the back of the leg. So when I change my weight and I really get over there, I feel that stretch up through my calf, right in there. And if I kind of go back and forth a few times, A, I'm working my internal and external rotation, but B, I'm getting all that tissue in the back of the calf to kind of wake up. And for right now, that's something that I need because I've been finding that I have been cramping in my calves and feet a little bit lately, which means I'm probably missing something in my diet. All right, let's open up into a big X. We're going to cross over elbow to knee, just a big weight shift, big movement. Think of really pushing from one leg to the other. So you're moving far across from side to side, big lateral side-side shift with a contralateral pattern in our movement. Try to actually touch elbow to knee. Inhale, exhale. Changing it to the back. So as I go to the back, my body wants to do it a little bit slower. And I also want to take this so that I am actually reaching my leg back in space. So it's a little back attitude, right? As opposed to just touching like this. I want to take it, get the back of my legs and my butt working as I reach to them. So there's a little more forward backwardness in this. The emphasis is more in the front back space than in the side side. Good. Shake it all out. It is snowing up here. There is some snow on the ground. Let's take it down to the floor. And cross-legged position. Rib cage, lungs, heart, diaphragm, circling around. So when I was in Scotland with Philip, we both did a yoga class together online. It was a forest yoga class, change direction, and a forest. And it was with Catherine Allen taught the class. It was really good. I have to say it was really good, but it was very micro, engage this, pull your sit bone into your whatever hamstring and which I liked actually. So it's good to do that some of the time. We want to have the capacity to be really specific and engage and know what we're doing, but we also want to have the capacity to move, right? Sometimes if we're so specific and micromanaging every little thing, we stop being able to really move very well, which is just to say that we need all of it, circling the whole way around, right? I absolutely loved that class and I thought their cueing was fantastic. So high fives to Anna Forrest and Forest Yoga. Pretty great stuff. And thank you, Philip Alexander McDonald, for introducing me to it. So I think what I'm trying to say is that we need both things. Like in ballet, it's very specific. We're really working, but then we also need to be able to let go. And so I think that the way that I teach is more of a balance between the letting go and the engaging, but I don't micro teach what you're engaging all the time, because I feel like if we allow the intelligence of our own body to figure that out, then we're one step closer to just being able to function on our own. Cross the other leg in front, which isn't to say I don't like it. Sometimes I do teach the micro stuff, but not so much in here. Side stretch. Oh, let me micro. Sit bone to the floor, reach out through your fingertips. Feel that. So this sit bone, don't let it pop up, otherwise you're taking the stretch away. Really plant your butt into the ground and then open, take it over to the other side. We're going to stay with this for a minute. Again, feeling your sit bone reaching down. So there's an active reach down through your sit bone toward the floor, and then another active reach up here in the other direction. We'll take it back to the first side. This time we're going to just slightly round forward and then spiral open. Rounding forward and spiraling open. The other thing that I would like to add is that there isn't like one perfect form of movement that ticks all the boxes. There's a lot of really great ones, but there's so many different ways of moving, and we really need that variety in our body. Use your breath, lungs and ribs. And then come up and take it to the other side. Same thing, softening forward. In a way, we could say what we're doing here is massaging the diaphragm, right? Because this part of our body is getting this movement. And you could use your hand here to go deeper or stay on the floor, really listening into your own body. Every stretch doesn't have to be your deepest stretch. Sometimes we want to just really grease up the way to the deepest stretch, grease ourselves up on the way. Inhale up, and let's take it forward and just shift from side to side, from your tail to your head. So basically what's happening for me is I'm shifting my pelvis a little bit one direction, and then that ripples up through my spine and finishes off at my head. So I feel this ripple from my tail through my spine to my head. And I've got my eyes closed so I can really tune into sensation. And I'm going to take it a little deeper and just hang out there. Breathing, deep breathing. Let's add a hum. Do like a couple breaths with a hum, and then inhale back through your nose. And then roll it up. So the invitation with each of those hums is to really imagine that you're producing that nitric oxide, which is also like, it works with your endothelial cells, which form the lining of your whole vascular system and your heart. And it's like an anti-inflammatory for them. So it helps clear things through. And I have to blow my nose. And it's also this antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal for our bodies. So it's like this natural way of resetting and recharging, of clearing out the stuff. And sometimes we can just tag it on to what we're already doing. All right, let's sit on our butts, arms out to the sides, back of the arms together. Inhale, open, back of the arms together. This time we're going to stretch it out. Get long. Exhale, back of the arms. Inhale, open. Let's go through so that we're winning the race. Spiraling through. Exhale, spiral. Inhale, open. Exhale, out to the side, going through, winning the race. Exhale, back of the hands. Inhale, open. Spiral. Open. Spiral. You can take your palms towards each other on top so that we're getting the spiral all the time. Back of the hands towards each other. Palms facing forward, back of the hands towards each other, palms facing each other or spiraling all the way down to the floor. Exhale, back of the hands. Inhale, open. Chest is going to come through. Exhale, back of the hands. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, back of the hands. Inhale, just to notice. Let's not go past our hands here. So you should be like hands slightly in front of you, long through your spine. So we're not breaking it. We're just hanging out there, just so we feel that difference and know, are my arms in front of me? Are my arms behind me, right? You could start even just move them forward and backward and notice in your peripheral vision. Because a lot of times when I teach, I tell everybody, put your hands slightly in front of you, and they're either here for people or they're not there at all. So finding out, what does it feel like to be in those places? We're going to change it. Rolling all the way down. Stretch it out, get long through one side of your body and then long through the other. So again, that stretch we started out, stretching through the spaces between the rib cage and the pelvis, but all the way out through the fingertips and toes, opening it up. So a lot of people get a little bit congested in there, in that space between the rib cage and pelvis. QL gets tight, quadratus lumborum. Psoas gets tight. So let's just shake it all out for a second. Let it get easy. Relax it all. In the movie Heathers, which I haven't seen in a million years, and this may actually be apocryphal, I may be totally full of shit, but I think that when they're talking at one point, one of the dominant alpha females is yelling at the other one saying, "Fry like bacon," like get on the floor and shake. And I always use that joke, fry like bacon, but I don't think anybody knows where it came from. So yeah, here, fry like bacon and hum. So what I notice is when I add the hum and I can hear it and feel it inside of my body, it's just giving me another layer of information of where am I holding, what I might be able to let go of, where is that sound vibrating, which just is a huge amount of awareness in your interoception, in your awareness of what it feels like inside your body. Open your arms out side, dropping your knees from side to side. So in our life, like sometimes we have to smother our feelings just to be a person in the world. Like it's not always appropriate when you're at work to break out in tears or anything like that. But at the same time, if we've smothered them, they didn't disappear. They just got jammed in there somewhere. And at some point in your life, if you're on a growth path, you need to start to face and deal with that stuff. There are many different ways you can do it. And some of them are more painful than others. I don't know. But it's your stuff, right? We have to deal with it. So some of it's all lodged in your body mind. But when we start to have more awareness in there and start to do these things, sometimes we're going to start to feel more. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what this is all about. Like when you start to let your body move more, when you start to tune in, when you start to listen to it a little bit, sometimes there's a lot of information that might be painful or surprising. Let's roll back and forth. But eventually you start to work it through. Because we also don't want to work at our bodies and then start reinforcing the stories of our life, right? We don't need to reinforce the shitty things. We can start to let it go, offer some clearing to the system. Yeah, I'm all right, let's take it down to the floor. Circles with your knees. Sometimes people are really trying not to feel things. So if you're in movement classes and you're working in that maximum tension a lot, that's going to be a way of not feeling things. That's why we want to sometimes let it go. Change direction with the circles, releasing up the hip sockets. My dad would say, wherever you go, there you are, right? So we're always going to be with ourselves no matter what. So anything that we do to grow, to assimilate, that makes me think of the Borg, but to integrate our lives, integrate our body minds, integrate so that we feel like we're okay. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but that we're not fighting against ourselves. We're not driving the car with the brakes on. Circles, big circles. If it feels good to let your butt peel up off the floor, go for it. Really listening to what feels right to you. My nice creaky floor. And if you feel like flexing, go for the flex. And then we're going to take our legs up, flex your feet, reach through your heels, crossing elbow to knee, and then press it up to the ceiling. Exhale, spiral, inhale up. Exhale, reach, inhale. Now we'll point down, pointing and flexing. Use your breath. Really try to blow everything out. And then a big sniff in. If you get that big breath going, you'll feel your core connect in a more integrated manner. Good, we're going to change it again, fast, going one leg to the next, just for 20, counting on your own. And relax, drop it down, lower your feet to the floor. Head-tail connection, wag your happy dog tail, let your head and neck and shoulders be soft and relaxed. So ease it all up, shake it, jiggle it, you can add your arms, have a little spaz, releasing some stuff, and then letting your knees fall from side to side. So on this point of, if you start to really actually release stuff, then your body is changing what the homeostasis is, right? What comes back to the norm. And sometimes, and this is why people like to stay in their patterns, that is destabilizing. That is like, oh, things feel good. This is unfamiliar. I don't know about this, right? Or things feel less whatever. So starting to just recognize that if you are making changes, it's going to feel weird even when things get good. We have to, I don't want to say level up, but if you're a D&D player, I'm going to say level up. But we have to be able to sustain whatever it is that we're doing because we can handle it and it feels okay. All right, hands by your feet. I mean sustaining the more improved pattern, right? And sustaining the healthier way of being in the world. Okay, let's just go pelvis up and then roll it down through your spine, vertebra by vertebra. So I'm pushing straight up with my feet, pressing up. I'm not rolling up, but then I am rolling down. So I'm moving through my spine as I come down. My feet are wide. I'm pressing and opening, and then I'm softening and rolling down because I want to get that, especially up here from my, let me move this way, from my top of my neck to my sternum. I want that to start to mobilize. Inhale up, exhale, sinking. Good, one more. Inhale, open high, and exhale, sinking. So feeling that shift, really it's as the spine starts to come back down to the floor. And then we're going to change this. So this is, we're going to go up. We're going to take our elbow underneath us, shift onto that side, and then roll back. Press up, arm goes out, and come down. Press it up, take your elbow underneath, shift onto that side, bring it back. Inhale, so I'm moving my lungs, right? All this stuff is going on. Inhale up, elbow underneath, take it to the side, open it up, press and lower. Inhale up, elbow underneath, take it onto your side, press and lower. Press it up. You're going to this time take one leg reach it out to the side, and then step back into the floor and come down. Press it up, take your leg, kick it out to the side, bring it up and come down. Press it up, leg out to the side. So pelvis is gonna lower a little bit, reach it out, push into the floor and come down, press it up. If that's too much, just go up to the ceiling. That's an option. Or get that little twist, press up and come down. Up, take it to the side, reach it out, push it up and come down, press it up, out to the side, press it up and come down. That's all we're going to do with those for right now. Let's take a happy baby pose. Let yourself really listen to your own body. Let's add the hum here. Taking resting breaths whenever you need it, shake around, do whatever you need. Listen to your body. Relax for a second. So another thing with the hum is it will down-regulate you, because to hum, you're going to slow your exhale. That will most likely happen. And if you're having a hard time with that, it means you're pretty upregulated. You might want to just sit still and try that really relaxed, long, extended exhale. Okay, we're going to open our feet a little wider, internally rotate one leg at a time. So with our parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, sometimes people think that one is really regulating the other. And to a degree, that may be true. So that's our fight, flight, freeze, and our rest and digest, soothe, and settle. But I think, like, from my experience of my own nervous system, it's even possible for one side of your body to be upregulated and the other to be downregulated, right? Because it's coming down your spine, routing out, information is going in and out through there, which I only felt once because I was being worked on by Leslie Kaminoff, and I was like, holy moly, totally upregulated on one side, downregulated on the other. Then he did the other side, they both got downregulated, everything was fine. But I think that a way of thinking of them is that they're running parallel, they do affect each other, but both have capacities that can be expanded, right? We can learn to let go more and to be more relaxed and more released. We can also learn to take more upregulation, which doesn't mean it's not just shit. It's not just, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. It's also, oh, I'm so excited. It's amazing, right? This is what I'm talking about letting our nervous system start to handle patterning that we're interested in, right? Like if we want our life to be more, whatever it is we're trying to do or be more of, often we need to be able to allow either more downregulation or more upregulation without freaking out. And so the difference between the two things, like I can, in a dysfunctional downregulated state, I'm going to feel depressed and kind of out of sync. In a functional downregulated state, I'm going to feel very calm and it's coherent. My system is working together with itself. It's not fighting itself, right? So the uncoherent one is more stressful or more depressed, or on the high end, the incoherent one would be, I'm freaking out. But the coherent one is, I'm so excited. They're really close to each other, right? So it's really us being able to go, oh, this is excitation. I can handle this, right? Which is one reason we want to do things like cold training or breath work, so that we learn to be in those different states of regulation and in a way that isn't just crappy. All right, reach out through your legs, square off your hips to the floor so both bones are pointing down. And then from there, just turn the leg out and in. Small amount of turn out without turning your hip, right? Just the leg, reaching through your heel, turning out and in, lengthen your head forward. And then you're gonna add the hip. Let the hip turn out and really turn in. Hip turning out, hip turning in. We're not trying to lift the leg higher. It's just in the same place, turning in, hip turning out, hip turning in. Two more, out let it turn in and out, and let it turn in. Take it down, put your knee behind your other leg. Actually, I'm going to face you in front. This knee is behind the other leg. Take it out to the side and turn to look at it. Breathing into that, letting that hip open up. And then unscramble, other leg out behind you, flex the foot, both hips square to the floor. Feel your hip bones, making sure they're pointing down, they're not moving, then turning your foot in and out. Keeping the leg stable as that hip socket mobilizes. So you should feel that through the tissues of your leg. Now add the hip, turning it out and turning it in, turning it out and turning it in. Let your range of motion with the turn in be as big as it can be, out and in. Leg underneath you is staying straight down below you. Or under, I don't know how to say that. It's not moving up and down. 2 more. Take that foot, cross it behind the other one, bring your body to look at it. The further forward you bring that foot and the more you come around to look at it, the more you're going to get the stretch. Breathe into it. And then unscramble. Walk your knees back, big circles with your hips. Down towards the floor, stick your butt out in the back. And change direction. I mean, that's one reason with the upregulation and downregulation, like one reason we drink is to, or take drugs or anything, is because we are having a hard time dealing with our regulations. We can't downregulate enough, or we can't handle the upregulation, right? So take a drug, take a pill, have an alcoholic beverage, take it down and release. But ultimately, all of those things are actually poisonous. That's why we feel stuff. Shift it from side to side, right? Breathing, melting, softening. And then come in, drop your head down onto your hands, push up and down. And then reach your arms and legs out away from center, opposite arm to leg, up and down. Think of lengthening from the center, radiating out. If you're pushing down into the floor with the bottom leg, try to not do that. Feel both hips on the floor, lengthening out and away as you reach. So it's like your arm and your leg are getting an inch longer and then reaching out. Good. We're going to change it. You're going to come up, take the arm and leg out to the diagonal, bring it back in and lower down. Up, out to the diagonal, bring it in. The diagonal might be a very small amount of movement. If you've got an injury and you're protecting yourself, it could just be like 4 inches off center. And then see if you can really bring it back into center. So I've just made mine much smaller. If you're feeling good, go big. If you're not feeling so good or you're questioning it, go small. Or just do up and down, right? So if it's too much, this is also fine. And relax. Bend your knees, wag your tail by really letting your hips lift off the floor and reach your butt from side to side. Actually, this is very much a liquid flow type of movement where you pick up your butt and then drop it down, pick up your butt, drop it down. You can also roll across the front, massaging out the thighs, but feel what it's like to push out your butt, right? I feel like culturally, we can have very different opinions about what your butt should be doing or how big it should be. So try not to like impose upon your own form cultural ideas that don't feel harmonious to you. All right, let's take our hands next to our chest, legs fairly close together. Let's just do a baby cobra up, exhale down, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. lifting, and then adding the hands. Go as high as you can, connect the hands, come up. This time, once we're up, let's sink into the shoulders and then push through. Sinking and pushing, sinking and pushing, sinking and pushing. So let's sink, relax everything as much as you can. As when you push up, engage your butt and take your pubic bone slightly forward. Relax your butt, sink down into your shoulders, press up, engage your glutes, open the front of your hips, look towards the ceiling, and then release your butt, let it go down. Up, engage, push through, look up, soften and release, and take it back into a child's pose. Shift your head from side to side, let it go, look around, reach one arm longer and then the other. And then slowly roll it up through your spine. We're going to take our hands behind us on the floor. You may or may not have access to a lot of this. You might, we'll just see how it goes. You're just going to press your pelvis forward into a baby camel. We're just not going all the way up, and then release down. Pressing, opening the front of the hips, looking up, and release it down. And again, press and take it down. And press. If it feels good, walk it up to your heels, open, and release, and take it into a child's pose again. Free up your spine, wiggle around, and then shift your weight and roll it all the way up. I have no idea what time it is, but I feel like I've been going on for a really long time. I've had a lot of blabbing today, lots of chatter. All right, let's just do some hip stretches and end it. Actually, I want to do something on our sides. I'm sorry, we're not just doing hip. We're going to do a little side lying and then hip stretches, and then we'll be done. So many versions of this. You can choose the one you want. I'm going to do my bottom knee and elbow are bent. I'm going to press up, radiate back, pull it in, reach it out, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. So I'm getting a back bend, an arch, and then a crunch in front while I'm pushing the floor away with the bottom half of my body. And then release it, butt to the floor, swing your legs around to the other side, fold it in, press it up, arch back. Use your lungs. Last one. And come down. So one way of looking at your workout also, like if you're trying to go for a whole body thing, is did I face the floor? Did I face the ceiling? Did I work the right half? Did I work the left half? Did I cross my body in the front? Did I cross my body in the back? If you did all of that, then you're doing pretty good on a sort of fascial level. So the fascia is it holds the form of our body. It is the organ that creates shape. It sounds like it's like in one place. It's everywhere. It's routed through your whole body, supporting everything, creating the form of everything. It used to be what got thrown away, like in anatomy labs. Throw that stuff out, it's nothing. But really, it's one of the most important things in our body. Crossing your ankle over your knee. Take it into a forward fold over that. Breathe. So yeah, when we work all of these different patterns and sort of more three-dimensionally with awareness of our relationship to the gravitational pull of the earth, right? Vertical, sideways, forward, backward, we're hydrating all of that tissue. We're giving it the chance to have more integrity because it's been required to do things in all of these different relationships to gravity. Well, that was a mouthful. Soften and melt. Let's take a hum in here again. unscramble, come up, give your legs a little bang, rotate in and out, let everything go, shake it out, and then switch it to the other side. I don't even know which one that was. I think it's this one. Maybe it's this one. I think it's this one. All right, taking it down, breathing. Maybe I'm doing the same side twice. Oh, well, if I can't tell, it can't be that different. Surrender, let go. Add the hum. And relax, let it go. Unscramble, give it a bang, rotate in and out. Release your ankles. So shake your feet around so that they are free to kind of go in and out. Bang out the legs, calves and shins. Let's just do, you're gonna grab on. I'm gonna take off my socks so you can see my foot. You're gonna grab on, pull up, flex, and then just put your foot down, flex, pulling up the tissue. And then you're going to push down and do the same thing. So grabbing on, making a cuff with your hand and pushing down, right? So we're just assisting. You can pull, grab, pull up, flex, and then foot to the floor, and then push down, same thing, right? So we're giving that tissue in the back of the calf and in the foot more movement. Then go in and out, making a fist, both on a pull and on a push. Spreading your toes, making a fist, spreading your toes, making a fist. And then release it, give it a bang, let it go, switch it to the other side. So the same thing, pulling up and away, flex, and then foot down. Wake up your toes so they're peeling up off the floor and then connecting to the floor. And then push down with the tissue. I'm really digging my thumb into my calf and Achilles, right? These are really important things that we want to be working well for the rest of our lives. No injuries, please, especially no torn Achilles. That just takes you out for a really long time. So we can affect the tissue by being kind and gentle to it. And then the same thing with make a fist and wing it out. Down and up. Internal with a fist, spread out your toes. In and out, in and out. And then the same thing with a pull. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You can bang it out if you want on the floor or with your hands. Rotate in and out, soften in the hip socket. Give your hips a little hit down the outside of your legs and then inside. And then sliding your heels underneath you, butt to the ceiling, open your feet wide, shift from side to side. Bend one knee, bend the other. Listen into your spine. Is there anything that could use a little bit more movement? And then come in, roll it all the way up to the top. Inhale and open. Interlace your fingers, just shift from side to side. Again, similar to where we started. I'm actually going to bend my knees on this, and I'm going to move my pelvis slightly. So I'm going to the side, and I'm also shifting my hips and my arms going one way, and then my hips and my arms going the other way. Again, getting into that QL, quadratus lumborum, which is tight on a lot of people and can really pull on your spine. I could let that go. Last thing we're going to do is just, here's my sacrum, this little triangle. Just going to hit out. So here's the line where my sacrum is joining the big bones of my pelvis. I'm just going to knock on that for a minute. Sacroiliac, banging out, and then also getting into my hips, releasing. Good. And then we're almost done. Big breath in, open it up. Shake, let it all go. Inhale. Shake up the snow globe. Ooh, let it go. One more. Inhale, open. Then gentle release. Let it go. And that is it. Oh, Cassie was in there for a second. She has to feed the little person. So I am going to close this out.